This is Good Friday, and we will look at the 7 last words of Jesus on the cross. We start with an introduction from John chapter 19. The soldiers took charge of Jesus. Carrying his own cross, he went out to the place of the skull, which in Aramaic is called Golgotha. There they crucified him, and with him 2 others, one on each side and Jesus in the middle. It's the middle of Friday morning, and Jesus has been awake since Thursday. And since celebrating the Passover on Thursday evening, he has stayed up to talk with his disciples. He has spent an hour in prayer in the garden. He has been betrayed, arrested, denied, and deserted. His disciples have left him. His fellow Jews have accused him. His local king has laughed at him. He has been beaten, mocked, slapped, spit on, whipped, and had thorns stuck on his head. The Roman governor, who knew he was innocent, has sentenced him to death, and they have brought him to the hill of execution. At any time, he could have stopped this. He knew it was coming, and he will let it happen. The first word from the cross, from Luke 23. 2 other men, both criminals, were also led out with him to be executed. When they came to the place called the Skull, they crucified him there, along with the criminals, one on his right, the other on his left. Jesus said, "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing." Jesus feels the pain. The nails that hold him to the cross go through the wrist near the hand. They crack through the bones, and they tear at the nerves. Yet in his pain, Jesus does not cry out in anger or with curses. He calls to his Father in heaven to forgive the people who are doing this, not to hold this sin against them. And the words go beyond the men holding the nail or the hammers, though they hear it. The words of forgiveness extend to all of those who have been part of this injustice. The words extend also to us, to all of us. The Lamb of God is carrying the sins of the world, John the Baptist said. The Lord has laid on him the iniquity of us all, Isaiah said. The cross of pain is also the cross of forgiveness. And to back up the words of forgiveness, Jesus will stay on the cross. The second word from John chapter 23. One of the criminals who hung there hurled insults at him. "Aren't you the Messiah? Save yourself and us." But the other criminal rebuked him. "Don't you fear God," he said, "since you are under the same sentence? We are punished justly. We are getting what our deeds deserve. But this man has done nothing wrong." Then he said, "Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom." Jesus answered him, "Truly I tell you, today you will be with me in paradise." A crucifixion is done in public so the people can see you as you die. The dying man is close enough to the crowd that they can talk to you as you die. Jesus' enemies took the opportunity to insult him and to laugh at him. They threw in his face all the words that people had spoken about him. "Aren't you the Christ, the Anointed One, the Messiah? Aren't you the Son of God, the King of the Jews? Why don't you come down then? Come down from the cross and we will believe you." And one of the criminals joined in. "Aren't you the Messiah? Save yourself and us." But the other man being crucified saw something different. He is facing his death without a complaint. He's being tortured to death, and he says that the way that he has lived, he's getting what he deserved. He's getting what he had coming. But Jesus, whatever he knew about Jesus, he knew that Jesus didn't deserve this. So in the middle of Jesus' defeat, this street criminal asks Jesus to remember him when Jesus comes into his kingdom. And Jesus extends a word of welcome to this man who deserves all the punishment he's getting. Today, you will be with me in paradise. That's the truth. Truly, I say to you, today, you will be with me in paradise. This is why Jesus is on the cross, to welcome an ungodly and unworthy man into the kingdom.